Voila, and we are live this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. According to your time zone, I think we are almost 11:53 today. So if you are joining me, kindly let me know where you are watching me from. I will really appreciate to know how big my page has been. So, in case you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Ganiat. I'm a mother of three adorable boys. I used to work in an hotel, but right now I am doing what I love doing most now because of my business. I am able to quit to leave my job and doing what I love doing it right now. I can do whatever I want. Love right now with the children are on holiday. I can be able to take care of my children by myself. So today we are live again this morning. I hope you are coming in. As you are coming in, kindly put in the comment section where you are coming in from, and then as I'm going, let me quickly share it on my other places where I used to share it so that they can as well enjoy the benefit of we coming online today. Thank you so much for that like, for that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. I don't take anyone for granted. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So as we are coming live, let's start saying where we are watching from so that I can show it on the screen so that you can actually see ourselves on the screen as we are coming in. Let's able to see ourselves on the screen. And in case you have any question concerning my business, do not hesitate to ask me. Even while doing this live, do not hesitate to ask me. Even while doing this live, I will be here to answer you guys about my business. I will be able to guide you through if you need anything to know. As you can see my topics, I said basic step in creating budget. On this page, on my channel, in case you are watching on YouTube or you're on LinkedIn, I am here to educate, to inspire, and also to entertain us. So today is all about education. It's not about entertainment. It's about education. What we need to know, how we need to plan ourselves. So that is what we are here to do today. So in case you are joining in, you have any question, don't forget to put it. As you can see, as my topic said, it said basic step in creating budget. Basic step, what are the basic steps that we are going to take when we are creating budget, when we have a budget? Maybe you don't know what to do with budget. How are you going to create it? What are we going to do? So that's what we are to say today. And I believe as we go on and on and on and on, we will be going with ourselves and we'll be learning what is budget. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is wetin be budget gangan. What is budget? Kí ni bọ́jẹ̀tì ta fi tán pè ní budget? So I'm going to define budget, then I'm going to tell us the types of budget, then I am going to tell us the basic step how to create an efficient and effective budgeting. Okay guys, that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let's dive into it directly, and by saying what is budget? Budget is a financial plan. Budget is a financial plan that outline our that is our expected income and expenses over a period of time. Typically, it can be monthly or yearly basis. That is what we call budgeting. That is what we are calling budget. Budget is a financial plan that we have what we are going to do over the year or over the month, either quarterly, but mostly it's monthly or yearly basis that we normally have budget. So budget, what does budget does? It serve as a roadmap for managing our money, which is your money. It help us to manage our money. It give us what are we going to do. Also, oh sorry, I think I forgot to put my microphone. Is I can see that the volume is not too good. Okay. What we are saying is we are talking about budgeting. Budgeting, what does it do for us? How does it help us to achieve our goals, our dream? That is what we are talking about today. So budgeting, I said, what one thing I said is it serve as a roadmap to manage our money. That is what budgeting does for us. It help us to allocate all our resources that we are getting and to be able to meet our financial goals. That is what budgeting is doing for us. It help us. It's a roadmap. It will guide us how we are going to spend the money that we are making by ourselves. Our sweat. That is what budgeting will help us to achieve. But in a budgeting, you estimate our income. We have various type of income. We get income from every various places. So what does budgeting do is help us to allocate those funds to different categories of our expenses. That is the way we budget. What is budgeting is doing for us? It will help us to allocate those funds into different categories of places. So it will help us to allow us to prioritize our spending and control over our expenses. It ensures that we have enough money to cover all that we need. And don't remember, budgeting will also help us to save for our future. When you can plan great on your budgeting, maybe your monthly salary or anywhere you are earning money from, what budgeting does is that it will help you to plan over your money. So that take us to the next thing that I said I have on my list that I'm going to discuss is the basic type of budgeting. What does budgeting entails? One, the component of budget is our income. When we are talking about income, I think we are talking about what is included in our income. So this is what is included in our income. We can see what does income entails. Let me make it big so we can be able to see what does income entails. I'll bring myself. So what does income entails? Our income entails salaries that we earn, the bonuses that we earn, the commissions, maybe the income from side hustle that we are doing, maybe you are doing freelancing or many more like that. Many more like that. That is what our income entails in our income. He said gross income. We have something that we call gross income. Gross income is the total income from all our taxes. All our taxes after they have removed before they remove deduction. That is what is called gross income. It's all form of and it entails whether the income from salary, dividend payment, interest and capital gain. If in case you are somebody that is having stocks, that is where you can get capital gain from. Okay, so that is what our income entails. I hope I'm making sense. So if I'm making sense, let's go to the next one, which says we talk about expenses. What is expenses? Let's expatiate. I think we have point of income. Let's talk about expenses. What is our expenses? Expenses, it comprise all costs that we anticipate during budgeting period. What are those costs? Those fixed. Mostly we have fixed expenses and we have variable expenses. So what is fixed expenses? Fixed expenses are something that is we paid almost every month. That is what we call fixed expenses. Like our rent, our electricity bills, our insurance, our mortgage, whether house mortgage or our vehicle mortgage. Those are fixed that we are going to pay. Certainly, we must pay it. So I said we still have something that we call variable expenses. Variable expenses is something that is not something that we do every month. Maybe that does not have fixed price, like our entertainment. Maybe you just want to buy something at home, groceries, our utilities that is not fixed. That is what we call variable expenses. Something that is not fixed is what we are calling variable expenses. So, and then expenses, I think I have some that is how we see food expenses, electricity, waters. Those are expensive. Phone bills, internet. Those are what we call expenses. So go to the next one that we talk about. Savings is another way of budgeting. Those are the place that we can get budgeting from. Savings. What is savings? Savings is a money that we set aside or a portion of our income that we set aside to be able to meet a particular purpose of our life, of whatever things that we need. That is what we are calling savings. Maybe you can save for a short period. Maybe you want to get something for yourself. Maybe you like I don't want to remove the money immediately from my I don't want to remove the money immediately for my income. Okay, let me start saving it maybe bit by bit, so that it can be able to meet whatever that we want to do. We can started doing contribution maybe for emergency fund. Emergency fund like medical bills can arise. We don't know when anything can arise that we will need emergency fund. So that is part of savings. Savings is also, it can also be savings towards your retirement. Or you do insurance, life insurance is part of savings. Life insurance is part of savings. Life insurance is part. Thank you for joining me, Amos Bas Saborayaro. So life insurance also is part of savings, because you are saving for your future. Why are you doing life insurance? So that maybe nobody is saying we are going to die now. What we are saying is that when you do that, you are protecting those that you are going to leave behind. So that when let's assume somebody went to the Lord as soon as you're supposed to, as a younger age, and you already have insurance that protects your life already. Those that you are leaving behind, they will not be in financial mess, because you have provided that for them. So that is why savings is very good. Then I will take us to, I think I have some sa- s- I think I have something here for savings. No. For savings, which is okay, I think is this, no, 19 is this, yeah. So savings, you start to save little by little. You can see this cup as an example that I put here. You can see the cup, the small cup. That is when you start saving. As time goes on, your savings will be accumulating, and it will grow to the second pot. When your savings accumulate, then you go to the third pot, which is full. That is how savings grows. When you save, you know you are saving for a particular purpose. So that take me to thank you for the love as well. I really appreciate it. That take me to number the next thing on my agenda, which is debt repayment. Debt payment. If we have part of budgeting, our debt should also be in our debt should also be part of our budget. When we are budgeting, we should also put debt into consideration, because the more we pay our debt faster, the more that will help us to be able to have enough money to save. We know debt is inevitable, that we must, we not we must, we will, because there are some things that we will not be able to get in cash. We like, okay, let me get it and be paying it little by little. We all know that there is something like that that is existing. So in case we have an outstanding debt like credit card, car loan, mortgage, then we should always include it in our budget. We should not exclude it from our budget, because the more we pay it faster, the more we have enough money to save. We cannot be saving money and we have somebody that we are owing. We need to pay so that we can free our mind from anything that can arise, or from stress, especially stress. We can save ourselves from stress. So that take me to my number 5. We are talking about the types of budgeting. How can we budget? That is what we are talking about. So I talk about number 5 is discretional spending. This category non-essential expenses. Hmm? Such as something that you don't even do, maybe something that you do often, not something that you do every time. It's once a while thing that you will do. Like maybe you want to go out for dinner. You can't go out for dinner every day now. You just to meet an emergency, something that maybe like hobby. Maybe you used to, maybe once a while we take our children to amusement park. Those ones are classified as discretional expenses. It is not what we do often. It's something that we do maybe on not on regular basis. Like entertainment, maybe we have visitors once a while, or we planning to go to vacation. It's not what we do regularly. It's something that we do non-regular something that we are doing. So it is important to allocate a portion of a budget as well for our discretionary expenses spending to enjoy some personal in to enjoy some personal things. I can't do anything. I'm alive. No, I cannot do anything now. So let me finish my life. Okay? When I finish, I'll come and help you. Okay, so for the purpose of budgeting, we should have a clear overview of our financial situation. That is the purpose of budgeting. It will help us to know the financial overview of our financial situation. Okay, and it will help us to make an informed decision about spending and savings, or either we should avoid overspending, or we should work towards our achieving financial goals. Working towards financial goals is the critical point, is a main point for us. We need to be able to work over it, because when we have a good financial goals, when we are financially freedom, we are going to enjoy our life. That is one thing I know. So it is allow us to be able to track back our income, expenses, and identify some areas that we can try and make some cuts in it, and also increase our savings or adjust if there is any need for us to adjust it. I hope I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, don't forget to give me thumbs up and like and love, and also share if you can. And if you think you are getting value from this, you can also share for us. So we'll go to my number three point that I said is the main, that the basic step in creating a budget. What are the steps? How are we going to create it? So let's talk about that. That will be the last on the agenda for today. So let's talk about how are we going to create that step. And do not forget, we have our QR, our if you are interested in our business and you want to sign up for a business, I have my QR code here. I promised to, I think on Tuesday, I'm going to bring it here. You can just scan it. It takes you directly to my website, and then you can register with your name and your email address in case you want to find out about my business and how it's been done, what you are going to do, the steps you are going to take. So don't forget to scan that code, and it take you directly to my website. So let's talk about the basic step in creating a budget. What are the steps that we need to follow when we are creating a budget? Number one thing is we have to determine our financial goals. Let's determine our financial goals. We have to identify whether we want to term or is a long term financial goals. When we be able to determine, then we are able to allocate our income, the one that we have mentioned above, to those terms to be able to achieve it, like paying off our debt, discretionary spending, which is like vacation. We can be able to save towards it, or we can build an emergency fund as well. So number two thing that we need to do is, let's gather our financial information. How can we gather financial information? We will collect all the financial statements. I know most of us, we are individual, we are not a company, we do not have financial statement, but we can get our I think our monthly report from bank as well. Those ones will help us to make an informed decision on our planning, on our budgeting. They will help us to make that situation. That also, we can also keep the receipt of the things that we are buying, whether online, whether offline, whether in the shop. We can keep them also. Those things will help us to say, okay, last month, this is the total of money I spent, this is the total of money that I receive as an income. Am I able to balance? Am I working on deficit, or I'm working on surplus? We will be able to differentiate it if we were able to together. Then the third one says calculate your income. All those income I have mentioned above, savings, commission, like this income, all this income, say salary, bonus, commission, side hustle, freelancing, and others. When we are able to when we are able to when we are able to calculate our income, it will help us to be able to determine how much we really getting. Okay, it will help us to know how much are we really getting. Let me put it up again. It will help us to know how much are we really getting. That is what it will help us to know. It will help us to determine it. And then when we are able to know how much we are getting, then we will be able to consider, okay, after I've paid tax, or this is what I take home. Because gross income is different from net income. Gross income, let me bring out my face back. Gross income is talking about before you pay tax. That is gross income. Net income is after you have paid all your due, all your taxes. And we that we are working as an employee, we know taxes will be removed there before they even pay us our own salary. I think we know that. So let's be able to calculate, let's calculate it. Then that takes us to my number 4 steps in creating a budget is we have to track our expenses. Well, how do we track our expenses? We'll look all the financial statement that we get from bank. I said those monthly financial statement that they are sending to us, we can print it by ourselves. Will help us to know, okay, this is what I'm spending money on. This is what this is my income monthly. Then we can now categorize them into different categories, whether this is for transport, this is for housing, grocery, utilities, entertainment, or this is expenses that I paid maybe from the loan that you gotten from bank, or mortgage loan, or car loan, or house loan, anything. You should be able to track your expenses. So we from now you should learn how to track your expenses. And also number 5 said differentiate between fixed and variable expenses. When you're able to identify your fixed expenses, which I've mentioned before, which are the recurrent, something that it must be paid, like rent, it must be paid. When we don't want to go and sleep outside, it must be paid. Rent must be paid, mortgage must be paid, insurance must be paid, loan must be paid. Those are fixed expenses that you don't have any choice. It's you are paying it fixed. But when we talk about variable expenses is something that does not have a particular amount of money. It does not have a particular amount of money that you are going to pay for that, such as our groceries, the maybe you want to go to the supermarket, you cannot determine, okay, I'm going to spend 200 this month for food, on food alone. You know it's not going to be possible. Sometimes your children might need something that you need to get. Sometimes maybe you are still having a baby like me, you have to buy a lot of things for them. Okay, so you cannot, those are the things that we are calling fixed expenses. Those are the things that we call fixed expenses. So that takes me to number 6, which is determine your savings. No matter how much expenses that you have, you should be able to save at least 10% of your total income, your total net income. You should try as much as possible. That is what I've been doing, trying to save it at least 10% of my total income. I'm trying to save it every month. 10% I will save it, because it's going to help me in the future. And it is me that know why I am saving it then. So you too should be able to determine why you go have to save at least 10% of your total income in a month. No matter how in need of money you are, do not touch your budget, your savings. So you should determine how much you want to save on based on your each month, to be able to meet your financial goals. I didn't say you should be saving maybe 100 euro monthly. No, based on how much you receive that month, that is based on how you should save. Just 10%. If you like, you can bring it out to 5%. If you see that it's not convenient for you, then you should bring it. So saving should be prioritized in your budget. You have to prioritize it. Don't use savings money for another thing. Make sure that you save towards something and you achieve that thing. And then number 7 to me said create a budget template by yourself. Just name them: expenses, transport, housing, um just just name it the way you can create it. Or if you don't know how to do it, go to Google. Google is our friend, YouTube is our friend. Go to Google, go and type create a budget template. When you see it, it will give you different ones. Then choose the one that suits you, download it, or you print it, or you recreate it on a paper by yourself. As you can do it the way you know it will favour you. Then you can start fixing it. This is fixed expenses, variable expenses. Just fix it step by step, step by step. Then you'll be able to, when you create it, it will help you. It will allow you to know which money, how money is going out in your in your account, and how money is coming in. That is what budget template help us to know. Then to number 8 say you can make adjustments. If your expenses exceed or more than your income, you need to make an adjustment. No, expenses should not be more than income. That means you are running at a deficit. Deficit means you are running at a loss. Yeah, you are running at a loss. If your expenses is more than your income, you are spending more than what you are receiving. That means you are minus. Before the next month, maybe you are earning 1,000. That means you are going to earn, maybe you have overspent like 200, 800. You see, you have overspent it. So we need to make adjustment. We need to make adjustment to our spending. If in case you find out that maybe last month, which is June, is more than your income, then this month you need to try to cut some things down. Look at the areas where you can reduce, areas that you can cut down, then you have to cut them down, so that you're able to make sure that you are on profit. Even if you are working, you need to be running your home, yourself as a profit making person. So if your spending exceed, so you look at the area, yeah, you cut it down. It may this You have to you renegotiate. Like my telephone bills, every year I renegotiate it. If they cannot renegotiate it for me, then I change. I can't be paying so expensive like that. I change. So that take me to my number 9, which I says track and review. It's very good. Every time, track, check your expenses, check your budget, compare it to the maybe last month. Always compare your budgeting. Always compare it and review it periodically. Am I on board? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Is everything working well for me? I hope all things are going well. Try as much as possible to be reviewing your budgeting. At least maybe quarterly. Decide to be doing it quarterly. Is everything okay? I hope my savings are increasing, because I expect our savings to be increasing. Then last but not the least, be flexible over your budgeting. Don't be rigid. Recognize that if your budget need adjustments, maybe due to some changes in your income, your expenses, your financial goal, then be flexible. Remaining fixed, it doesn't make sense. No, you have to be, maybe last month you earn $10,000, and this month, because of the overspending of last month, you have 8,000. You see that your budget have to change. It does not mean that, except fixed expenses, expect the fixed expenses. Okay guys, so I think with all these points that I've given us, we will be able to have a good budgeting as well. And as we go on, I'll be bringing a lot of topics that will be improving us financially. So I'm here to teach us financial education as well. Everything we are learning it. So remember, creating a budget is the only first step you need. And consistently tracking your spending, sticking to your budget, and make informed financial decisions are key to achieve financial goals. Don't forget that it is key to achieve a financial goals. And then with that, we invite us to our webinar, which is holding every Tuesday and Thursday. Today is another Thursday. Don't forget to sign up for the webinar. Don't miss it. It's important for yours to be able to plan your financial goals, to be able to plan your situation in whatever way. Do not miss it. You can see it scrolling below my screen. Sign up on my website, and in case you want to just use the QR code, it will take you directly to my website. Then register with your name and your email address, and let me know if there's any question before the next step. I am here to help you guys. That is what my job is is to coach you guys, is to direct you, is to guide you through in every step, so that you will not make mistake. You can go on and go on and go on like that. So with that, I'll say thank you so much for joining me. If you are still watching till this time, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to tell me where you are watching me from. Till I will see you next time. maybe tomorrow. I don't know what. Not that you remain blessed, and I love you guys so so much. I can't stop loving you guys. Bye.